My name is Bree Costello, and today I want to share with you information about my passion for traveling. And through personal experience, I hope to teach you new tips for your future adventures. Growing up, I was fortunate to travel with my family, and these memories have lasted a very long time in my mind. And they also have fostered my seeking spirit today. Without them, I truly believe that my roots would not have been planted in adventurous soil. The first thing to do when you start to plan a trip is to consider how much money you want to spend and how much money you have. So on the days where you're just hanging around, a good idea is to crunch those numbers. The next thing I do after crunching numbers is I decide how much money I want to spend on transportation. Getting there is the first step to having a good vacation, and that money needs to be subtracted from the overall amount. Once the numbers have been crunched, then you can kind of figure out what sort of transportation you want to take. Flying, train, walking, biking, cars. And once you've figured that out, then you can start, picking your location. Driving a car is the easiest and fastest way to travel for short distances. It's probably the most common used method of traveling. Lots of times you can invite your friends, and that will save on gas money. The most important tip I can offer you for when traveling in a car is to buckle up. If you do want to spend a little bit more money, traveling by plane is a very common practice, and it's also really efficient if you are traveling by yourself long distances. To ensure the lowest prices on your tickets, book them early on websites like Travelocity and Kayak.com. More tips when you are flying include bringing on your carry-on bag to avoid bag fees, pack your own lunch, take the bus there or taxi. This avoids parking fees, and never bring liquids into your suitcase that is more than 3 ounces. Once you've figured out how much money you want to spend on transportation and what kind of transportation you want to take, you should decide on where to go. Another tip in traveling is if you want to avoid tourist crowds, travel in the winter. During the off-season, hotels and plane tickets cost less, but try to avoid traveling during the holidays if you can. If your destination is a city, a fun, cheap way to travel is by bicycle. Many cities now have operation where you can rent a bike, and this is by the hour. And you can ride your bike on the bike path or the street. You can go anywhere. This is healthy, and you can park them anywhere. Another way to travel in the city is by city bus and also subway. The cost is not very high and also leaves out the stress of parking as well as cost of a rental car. Not all vacations are in cities, so when you are traveling in rural areas or in nature, look for cheap camping, trails, and guided tours. National parks and state parks are great ways to start if you are looking for a nature adventure, but remember that they're very populated during the summer, and it's nice to avoid those crowds, so try going off season. Good food always should be a traveling companion. If you are looking for a good local spot, just ask the locals. People are more than willing to share their favorite food in their favorite cities. You can go to also local newspapers, and a lot of times they'll have stories about high-rated restaurants. To save money on food during your vacation, try to go to a local farmer's market or at grocery stores. Sightseeing is a big part of trips, and guided tours can be costly, but some are actually worth it, so check prices and do your research beforehand. Also do your research on the sites that you want to see most, and this will save a lot of time. A great tip that I can offer you is that you should do what the locals do. When in Rome, act like a Roman. This will actually save you lots of money, because when you avoid tourist spots, then you are always saving money because they're always overpriced. Always remember to keep an open mind when you are traveling, because you never know where you're going to land. I hope you take my tips seriously, and I hope you use them on your next trip. In conclusion, I just want to say thank you for listening and happy trails to you. All the photos that you saw today were taken by me on my vacations, and I just also want to thank my family and friends for going on the vacations with me and also looking good in all the photos.